Hello, everybody. This is the homework help for lesson 2.5. We are using strategies to subtract decimals. We are practicing either using a number line or we are practicing using partial differences. So a number line will show partial differences, or if you're adding up, it'll show some sums that you got to put together. But they're really quite doable. It depends on how your brain works. So if you like the number line, you can do it that way. Or if you like the partial differences, you're welcome to do it that way as well. So we're going to start just real quick by looking at number 11. We did this one in class with a little group. So we're going to just look at this one again in case you weren't there today. We have 7 and 8 tenths minus 4 and 9 tenths. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with this number here, and we are going to count up to get to 7 and 8 tenths. So I'm going to start my number line at 4 and 9 tenths, because a lot of kids find it easier to add to get to a number, like to add up, rather than to take away. So I'm going to make a happy whole number. I know to get to a whole number that I can work with, I'm going to add 1/10. Perfect. Now I am at 5. Cool. I can easily now get to 7 and 8 tenths by adding 2 and 8 tenths. Woohoo! So I have already made it here. Now what I need to do is I need to add 2 and 8 tenths to 1/10. And I get 2 and 9 tenths. And that is our answer for this one. Okay. The other way to do it is to do partial differences. So I'm going to show you in blue how to do partial differences. So I have 7 and 8 tenths minus 4 and 9 tenths. So for this one, we're going to start with the whole number. We're going to subtract 7 minus 4. That gives me 3. Now I can go ahead and move to the next one. I'm going to move to the tenths place here, and I'm going to subtract 8 tenths minus 9 tenths. You're like, well, Mrs. Bowman, you cannot subtract 9 from 8, you lady. So what you're going to do is you are going to regroup, kind of like you would in the standard algorithm. You're going to take 10 tenths from this whole number, and it becomes 2, and then that 10 goes here. So now let me rewrite it in a better way here. Now it becomes 1 and 8 tenths. So 1 and 8 tenths, or you can say it's 18 tenths, minus 9 tenths is 9 tenths. Now the only thing we have to do is we have to add these two together. So let's do that. We have 2 and 9 tenths. Either way, you will get the same answer. In class, we found that most people enjoyed doing it this way, although if you want to do this way, it is totally fine. You have a little bit more flexibility with what numbers you can use on this number line, but if you just want to just simply subtract from each place value, totally fine doing it that way as well. What we are trying to avoid at all costs, we are not doing 7 and 8 tenths minus 4 and 9 tenths. This is not the skill. This is not the skill that we're practicing. We are practicing using strategies. So if you're the student listening, if you are doing it like this, no. If you are the parent watching your student do this, no. We are not subtracting that way. We are using strategies. So we should be seeing this beautiful work here. Okay, let's try one more. Let me get this little guy out of the way here. All right, we have 20 and 60 hundredths, or $20.60 minus $14.35. So for this one, let's just go ahead and do the partial sum, or partial differences. So I have, actually I'll just use this one here. I have 20 minus 14. So I'll start with 20 minus 14. That's 6. Now I can move to the tenths place. Okay, I have 6 tenths minus 3 tenths, and that's going to give me 3 tenths. And you can also, I would actually suggest, if you have a whole number, putting a decimal place so that you can easily add these up. And then we're going to finally move to the last place value. to the hundredths place. So now I have 0 hundredths minus 5 hundredths. And if you notice, you're like, well, 0 hundredths can't take away 5 hundredths. It can, you'll get a negative number, but we want to avoid that, right? So we are going to regroup. We are going to take from here. Now this becomes, ooh, sorry, I'm moving my screen around here. Come on. This becomes 2 tenths, and now this one becomes 10 hundredths, right? And now we are going to subtract. Excuse me, my voice is still going out here. So now we're going to subtract, and then we can add them all together. In the ones place, I have 6. In the tenths place, I have a 2. And in the hundredths place, I have a 5. Now again, you could do this on a number line. You will get the exact same answer. If you wanted to check to make sure you got the right answer, you can add $6.25 to this value and see if you get this. Okay, let's try one final one and then we will move on. All right, so we're gonna start with 43 minus 7. Also in class, I did see a couple of people, you could go place value by place value. So I could go tens and there's no tens here. You could do that. But just for simplicity here, I'm gonna do all of the whole numbers minus all of the whole numbers. So 43 minus 7, we have 43, take away 3 is 40, and then another 4 more is 36. Actually, let me write this. Sorry, let me put this out. So we have 43 minus 7 equals 36. Now we can go ahead and move to the tenths. So I have 9 tenths minus 5 tenths, and that is a nice and beautiful 4 tenths. Sorry, I'm trying to line up my stuff here. All right, and then we'll go ahead and move to the last part here, which is 0 hundredths minus 2 hundredths. And uh-oh, I cannot do that. So I'm going to take from here. This becomes 3 tenths. And we're going to put this here. Put it in there. So now 10 minus 2 is 8. Now we can add all of these up. So in the whole numbers, we have 36. Bring down our decimal, 3 tenths, and 8 hundredths. Whoop, whoop. There we go. We got 36 and 38 hundredths. Yeah. All right, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Dojo. And I hope you have a fun time doing math.